Hi Libra, thank you for tuning in. This is a monthly love reading for the month of May 2017. Let's see what the cards can tell us. For Libra, please. Okay. This is interesting. I'm not sure for which other sign, but the Strength card was also in the center. Was it Capricorn? So let me just move these into your view a bit better. So your center card, Libra, is Strength, which is wonderful. First three cards, oh wow, 1, 2, 3. I have 4 major arcanas here. So the first 3 cards that came up was the Knight of Wands, followed by the Star, followed by the Moon. So these 3 cards automatically are asking you to be fearless, to look at the shadow aspects of yourself, the things about yourself that you don't like, perhaps revisiting past experiences that may have been painful, and not revisiting in the sense that remembering them, but if they have, regardless, our past experiences have influenced the way we see the world one way or another, whether we like it or not. And the star here right next to the moon, what that tells me, what that suggests, is to do a lot of introspection, to try to connect to, it's going to sound very spiritual, but I will relate it to love in a moment, to really look inside yourself and really try to ask the bigger questions, to visit your shadow side, to explore the things you don't like about yourself. And the star suggests to do it in a manner as you connect to the universe or to God or to your art, to your subconscious. It's, to ask the bigger questions, but to also be reminded that everything is one. We are all connected. There could be ways that past, let me rephrase that. There could be ways that the shadow aspect of yourself is being reflected externally in your world. And by looking into your shadow self and by digging deep into the things about yourself that you don't like, which I will explain in a moment, it just asks you to be fearless in doing so. Perhaps there was avoidance in looking at certain faults or certain things that we may not be aware could have been influencing our relationships. Let's say you're in a romantic relationship, especially since this middle card, the center card is Strength, it's asking to be strong in this relationship, to also see your faults, to see things from your point of view. It's very easy to compare others, to compare, the dates we go on, to compare partners with ourselves, and to notice the discrepancies or the differences. But these first 3 cards are suggesting to me to look from a bigger picture, try to be more objective in seeing your own faults or seeing the shadow aspects. Now, that doesn't mean there's something bad about you. The shadow part of ourselves is simply the part of ourselves that we do not like and the part of ourselves that we think is bad. So, for instance, anger, as a basic example. Let's say you try to refrain from being angry in a relationship, or the opposite, you try to refrain from keeping quiet. You want to be heard. You want all the truth to be out there. There could be aspects of yourself that you don't like. Maybe you don't like getting angry, or you don't like having to keep quiet. These cards are asking you to look at the bigger picture, to realize that this is part of who you are. This is part of the balance. And this could automatically help in your relationships. Of course, when we see our own faults or when we have a bigger picture of things, we're not as caught up in the details. As well, if you're single, it could be asking you to look on a bigger picture in terms of looking for a romantic partner, or in terms of being happy with yourself in your relationship status at the moment. The middle three cards have the Five of Swords, Strength, and then the Ace of Coins. Now, the Five of Swords, especially since it's coming after these three cards, suggests to me that it may kind of be a battle. It may be a fight to really accept certain shadow aspects, or to be aware of them, or to find them to begin with. But once that battle is over, once you have acknowledged or become aware or had the experiences in digging into your shadow aspect, once that has passed, you will still be where you are, but with greater awareness, and you will still have a choice what to do with this new knowledge. So let's say, for example, in a relationship, you've come to terms that, you know what, maybe, just maybe, I played a larger part than I would like to have played in particular tensions, or in the fact that my relationship may not quite be where I want it to be right now. With that information, being aware of it alone is not enough. The Five of Swords suggests to me that you will still have to make a choice. You know, you will have this knowledge, you will have this new insight, but what you do with it is up to you. But right after that, I have the Strength card followed by the Ace of Coins, which suggests to me to be strong, which you are anyways, and to use this knowledge to your benefit. It will help you gain a healthier relationship with a partner, with yourself. It will help with creating more stability and more security in your life. But it is up to you whether or not you want to walk through that doorway with this new knowledge. We can always keep this knowledge with ourselves. Let that person think what they will. You know, I have more self-awareness, but that will stay inside you once it is reflected outwards, you know, to a relationship partner, for example. You know, just wanted to share that perhaps I played a larger part and I still feel how I feel about this circumstance situation, but I am more aware now that it's not entirely your fault. If you're single, it could also be beneficial to do this because it may bring to light things that could have been detrimental to your dating experiences, or to finding and manifesting the kind of relationship you want. Perhaps you know, depending on the frequency that you are operating from at the moment, you will attract others of the same frequency. If you keep attracting a particular kind of person with a quality you don't like, it is very possible that you are emanating a vibration from which this quality operates, which is why you're attracting these people. So for instance, if you are attracting a particular kind of partner, just as an instance, who is greedy, for example, it could be anything, of course, it could be safe to acknowledge that perhaps you are holding on too tightly to certain things, either values or beliefs or standards that you're grasping on a little too much. And this is being reflected in people you are attracting via greed, because that operates on the same level of frequency, which could be why these cards are recommending to kind of dig into your shadow aspect and to really try to get a bigger picture, and especially with the star, to see how it reflects into the universe and how the universe is showing it back to you. Right? And by digging into the shadow aspect, which could be quite a battle and it may likely be very uncomfortable, at the end, you will still have that knowledge. It will give you strength, and you will have the ability to build something new from that, or to make adjustments, to make improvements. Now, the last three cards are absolutely beautiful. I have the Six of Wands, Victory, Temperance, and then the King of Cups. So the Six of Wands is victory. So this will very much help to create a feeling of victory and more success. And it's the kind of victory, as you can see, the wreath is hanging at the end of his wand. He is not holding it. He is sharing this victory with everyone who is cheering him on. So this is more like a victory of consciousness. It is not so much that you will be more successful than others or you will be set apart from others, but this growth and this knowledge will benefit everyone. It will benefit the people that you will begin to attract in your life, because now you're at a higher vibration and they can find a match, you, who's at a higher vibration, to match their higher vibration. If you're in a relationship, digging into this shadow aspect, seeing the bigger picture and how the universe is reflecting this to you, and making the choice to be strong, to acknowledge it, perhaps to work through it, will not only be beneficial and very healthy, it will also be a victory for your partner, for your relationship, because automatically vibrations will shift and things will start to operate at a higher frequency. And that is, of course, always a good thing. Right after that, I have temperance, which is balance, but as well a reminder that everything is part of a bigger picture. And the beautiful thing is, I do readings this way as well. We have the star, universe, stardust, everything is connected, energy is flowing through everything, followed by strength, followed by temperance, which is also a reminder that everything is part of a bigger picture. There's a flow to everything. And the last card is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is concerned with universal love and spreading compassion and empathy, and trying to be a leader in that, and really trying to guide others to that universal love and compassion. Now, I realize this sounds extremely cheesy, and I don't always like when it sounds very corny this way, but that's the best of my abilities to express it in this way. So this month, Libra, it's asking you to be fearless and really dig into the shadow aspects of yourself. Now, that's not to say that shadow aspects are horrible things about yourself. Again, be reminded that your shadow is the parts of yourself that you may not love, you may not fully accept, or that you may not like. And your shadow is different from my shadow, is different from someone else's shadow aspects. All of our shadow aspects differ. It's not like someone's light and someone's shadow are exactly the same. They are not, which is why it requires digging, and it requires trying to connect to a higher, to your higher self, and being fearless and really going into those places that you may not want to go into. And after that, you will have a choice what to do with this information, but it will give you strength, and it will, I mean, you could resonate with this card on your own as well. I mean, he's holding a coin, it's from the sky and it's radiating, right? And there's a doorway that you can walk through right there. And, you know, there's the sun, and it's just, it's being handed to you. It's opportunity. And, you know, without the cards into account, regardless, when we accept things about ourselves that we do not like, there is less resistance. They do not affect us as much. They are not as reflected in our external worlds. You know, think of times when you were younger or in a different phase of your life. Now, in retrospect, when you look at those shadow aspects, it kind of makes more sense why you found yourselves in the situations that you found yourselves, right? So this is an opportunity to do that again, to dig deep and to step into a new level of consciousness, step into a new phase in your relationship, step into a new level of self-love, which will be reflected in your love situation. And again, this is part of a greater picture with the Temperance, the King of Cups here at the end. And it will only lead to good things. There, I don't see any harm being done. Any perceived harm in digging into your shadow aspects is simply perceived, right? This is still you. This is part of yourself and who you are. That's all I have for this month, Libra. As it relates to love situation, by this reading, these cards are suggesting that it's time to really do a lot of introspection, to observe your external reality and compare it to your internal reality, to dig into your internal reality and as well see how it's being reflected in your external reality. Whatever difficulties, tensions, or bumps in the road that you may be facing in a romantic relationship could very well be influenced by these aspects of yourself. If you are single and you are having difficulty finding a partner or attracting certain people, or even if you enjoy being single and you don't want anybody in your life at the moment, it would still be helpful to kind of dig deep, be fearless, and it does take a lot of strength to accept and acknowledge aspects of ourselves that we don't like, things we could have done that we're not proud of, or regrets that we may have, or people we may have hurt. I mean, after all, we are only human. That is inevitable. But by accepting these things and really going into the dark aspects that we don't like, it will give us strength, because once we come out of them, we will come out wiser and we will come out with more knowledge, and it will be healthier because we will have a deeper understanding of ourselves and of our relationships and why they have formed the way they have formed and why they are where they are. Right? Because in any relationship, it takes two. We can't blame our partners for everything, you know. It takes two, and the way things have fallen into place, we are half of that. So by digging into our things that we don't like about ourselves, we will then be given a choice, because until we are aware of those things, we don't really have a choice. We're operating on autopilot, right? But once we have the entire picture in front of us, we will then have choice, and that will give us strength, and it will create healthier relationships and healthier attractions in your life. So that's what I have for this month, Libra. I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next month. Thank you for watching.